What's up, New Beginnings Church? Happy Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to this devotional series. And we are doing our walk through the book of Proverbs during the month of July. And so if you missed yesterday, you can go pause. I know it was a vacation. Hopefully you're safe and sound and feeling good. You didn't have too many hot dogs. And so anyway, but we are in July. Since it's July 5th, we are in Proverbs chapter 5 because, of course, you can correspond every day of the month to a chapter in the book of Proverbs. And so anyway, the book of Proverbs is all about wisdom, and it is so rich. And today I want to lean into these two verses here at the end of the chapter. It says that the evil deeds of the wicked ensnare them. The cords of their sins hold them fast. For lack of discipline, they will die, led astray by their own great folly. I was thinking about this. I love the way some of the biblical authors talk about sin. Of course, the Apostle Paul says the wages of sin is death, meaning that if you sin, there's a paycheck coming. And the paycheck is death. That's what you get paid for, right? And so sometimes we're inheriting a lot of death in our life, and we wonder why. It's like, well, if it's attached to something sinful that we're doing, well, we're just getting paid, for our labor, right? And so, but in this one, there's a different analogy, and this analogy is also used by the writer in Genesis. Watch this. The evil deeds of the wicked ensnare them. The cords of their sins hold them fast. It gives you this imagery that that sin is like a hunting trap. Like I can get you caught up in it, right? And so your need is to be like so dialed in to where you see the trap and you recognize the trap. You're like, oh, no. Because you ever thought about that? I don't know if you've ever been hunting or fishing or done any of that, but it's like, how many times as a fish do you have to get on the hook, get pulled out of the water, them take a picture and then throw you back in? How many times does it take before you come back around and you see that hook and you see that little shiny thing and you're like, nope, I've done that before. But yet at the same time, the fish is dumb, and so the fish just keeps on grabbing the lure. And so what we want to do is be above the animal kingdom, right? We want to have wisdom and discernment so that we see the trap. As a matter of fact, think about this. When Cain was mad at his brother Abel and he was angry and he thought about murdering him, God comes and visits with Cain, and he goes, why are you so angry about all this? And he says some words like this, that sin is crouching at the door, and it desires to have you, that same thing, to capture you, to catch you and snare you. But God says this, he goes, but you must rule over it. And so that idea, just be aware, like sin is a trap, and it's luring you in. But watch this, is the second verse. So a lot of the Proverbs, you'll see this, they're coupled together. And it says, for lack of discipline, they will die, led astray by their own great folly. So what is it that the sinner lacked that he kept falling into the same old traps again? Well, what he points to is that there's a lack of discipline. Now, if you look up this word in the Hebrew, there's two ways that you can understand this word. And in one sense, it is self-discipline or self-control. But in the same sense that we use the word discipline, let's say your kid gets out of line and it's time to punish your kid with some form of discipline, right? So this word can work either way. So what is the thing that you and I are needing to avoid the sinful trap? Well, here's what I think it comes down to. You get a choice. You either get to choose the self-control path, or you get to choose the chastising path, right? So in either category, he goes, no, the reason why they keep falling in that trap is because they have no discipline. Either they have no self-control or they haven't been punished enough by their own sin. Well, I don't know about you, but I don't want to learn everything the hard way in life. I don't want to have to repeat my mistakes over and over and over again before I learn. And so again, it's really, really smart for you to learn from your own mistakes. But the Bible would say that it is wise to learn from other people's mistakes, to have discernment and self-control and avoid it altogether. And so here's what I want you to do. I want you to recognize that as you go down this path of life, you have two options of discipline. I can either have the self-control one that I choose, that I fortify, that I work on, or I can get the chastisement, which is basically sin beating me up until I change my ways. But no matter what, we're going to have to choose one of those disciplines. The one that we choose for ourselves that leads to blessing, that is also a fruit of the Spirit, or the chastisement, the pain and punishment that we reap from sin. And of course, that thing is what breaks us in life and eventually helps us to, I think, choose life instead of death. And so, church, let us be mindful that sin is a trap. We have two options. We can choose self-control, or we can choose the wages of that sin and have that beat us up. Let us choose wisdom today. Can I get an amen? Church, I love you so much. God bless you guys. I will see you tomorrow.